Good evening, everybody. We're going to begin our program here in about 1 minute, so if you could all get to your seats, we'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Folks, if you'd like to get to your seats, we're going to begin our program. Thank you. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Alumni Awards Dinner, the biggest event we have of homecoming here at John Carroll University. Please take your seats. We're going to get started here momentarily. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to the 2025 Alumni Awards Dinner, an annual celebration of some of John Carroll's finest graduates. My name is Rory O'Neill. I'm a proud member of the class of 2006, and I'm the Alumni Director here at John Carroll. Before we get started, anybody try this lately? Anybody? All right. For those who don't know, John Carroll has its own official beer. It's brewed by our friends at Great Lakes. It's a partnership with the university. The two things we like to say to people who try it: one, we hope you enjoy it responsibly, as any Blue Streak would. Secondly, we hope you enjoy it with other members of the John Carroll family. And what do we have here tonight, right? We've got a great room of John Carroll alums. So thank you so much for being here. Tonight, on behalf of an alumni association that dates back to 1902, we will recognize and celebrate the accomplishments and lives of 8 alumni. 8 alumni who represent the very best that this university has to offer. Tonight's honorees are quite simply some of the finest graduates in the 139-year history of John Carroll University. Emily, Chris, Martina, Phil, Tony, Linda, Ed, and Dan. You are amazing ambassadors of John Carroll, some of our most supportive alumni, and standard bearers of a Jesuit education. We're excited to tell your story tonight and share your heartwarming stories of service, commitment, and dedication to JCU. This is a special night, and it's an amazing celebration of John Carroll. We got a great room tonight. So we've got members of our board of directors. We've got amazing members of our senior leadership team here. I want to recognize a few people here at the top. The Alumni Awards Selection Committee, which is made up of past presidents of the Alumni Association. Not all of them could be here tonight, but I want to recognize a few, and I want them to stand to be recognized. Terry Lewandowski, Jim Mason, Gordy Premer, Jim McChrystal, and Dave Robinson. They selected this evening's alumni medalists. Thank you so much. To our Alumni Association board, not all of them could be here as well, but they selected our Young Alumni Award winners, and a few of them are here this evening. Please stand to be recognized. Amanda Maggiato, George Lewandowski, Patrick Carpenter, Sharon Burns, and Michael Hollins. Thank you so much. This is the second year I get to recognize him. He probably hates that I'm going to bring it up, but where's Dave Vitito at? My former predecessor used to run the alumni office. Dave, put your hand up so people can point at you, all right? Thanks for coming back, friend, all right? I've even got family in the room. One of my aunts is a recipient of the Alumni Medal. Where's my Aunt Kathleen? Aunt Kathleen, put your hand up. There she is, all right? Tell my father I did a good job, okay? And I want to make one last recommendation to show you, one recognition to show you the power and the breadth of people in the room tonight. Can I have the Reverend Wesley Tolles please stand up? Class of 1959, the elder statesman of the Alumni Medal recipients. Thank you for being here. So I hope you're excited to be here. We are excited you're here. It's going to be a great night. This is one of those nights where the John Carroll tank gets filled to the brim and overflows, and you're going to walk out of here feeling as proud as you've ever felt about this university. So thank you for being here. To get us started in the right way, in the Jesuit tradition, I'd like to welcome to the podium here Brother Matt Wooters, who's an alum himself from the class of 2009 and a member of the Society of Jesus. Matt, how many blessings have you done this weekend? All right. Brother Matt is going to lead us in prayer, and then we're going to have dinner service begin, and we'll go from there. Brother Matt.
Thank you. Thanks, Rory. It is so good to be here. The energy in this room is tremendous. St. Ignatius, who founded the Jesuits, at the end of his spiritual exercises, which is the core of our spirituality, he has something called the contemplation to attain divine love. I won't bore you with it, but the gist is, he says, love ought to show itself more in deeds than in words. And that is what our recipients have done with their lives. They have shown love with deeds rather than words. So let's take a moment to pray with that great joy. God, we give thanks for the gift of these stellar alumni. Thank you for the ways that you have moved in and through them and shown your love to the world that is hungry for it. Bless this food, bless this conversation, and bless John Carroll University. Thank you.
Bon appetit. All right, folks, we're going to get started with our program here. So if people would like to take their seats, we're going to begin the formal part of our program. All right. Hope you're enjoying the end of your dinner, your coffee, and your dessert. Before we begin our awards program this evening, I want to welcome to the stage the 21st President of the History of John Carroll University, Dr. Al Mikiak, who would like to welcome you to campus, address our honorees, and give a few updates from campus. Al Mikiak.
All right, let's have a round of applause for Rory O'Neill, the father of 1886 lager. Okay, so there he is. Okay, I want to start by congratulating all of our honorees tonight. You're about to hear the amazing stories of their contributions in their careers since they left John Carroll, and for some young alumni who haven't been out very long, but still an amazing, amazing start to their lives after Carroll. So two messages. First, on momentum, right? So, as president of John Carroll, my focus and our focus as a leadership team is to provide the right amount of academic challenge, experiential opportunity, and personal formation in a Jesuit tradition to every student, right? And that's what we're all about. And so we've been investing a lot in the last years on making that, stronger and moving to a national profile for the university. And one of the biggest investments and the biggest accomplishments we have achieved academically in the last 50 years is our College of Health. So it began several years ago, starting a program in nursing, became our Department of Nursing, became our College of Health. And just last week, our nursing program received its final message on accreditation from the CCNE. We will graduate our first cadre of nurses in May, and we will have a 100% pass rate on the NCLEX. So there we go. And just upstairs behind us is the home of the College of Health and our nursing simulation labs and all the great work that Melissa Cole, Dr. Cole, our Dean of the College of Health, and her team are putting together to really drive growth in that particular college for the future of the university. So it's an absolute fantastic achievement for the university. And we've been investing across the campus in our academic programs. Many of you, if you've taken a walk around or if you haven't been back for a while, there's a lot of new things here that you'd want to see, right? So we've been investing in academic spaces, we've been upgrading all of our residence life facilities, and we've been investing in our athletic spaces. And so if you've been on the Belvoir side of campus, seeing the Athletic Wellness and Events Center, which opened last month, 125,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility for all of our students and all of our student athletes. It's an absolutely unbelievable facility, and it's going to really drive growth and experience for our students. So we're really excited about all of that. And if you came in on Warrensville, I've read in the newspaper that 12 months from now you will be shopping at Trader Joe's, and you'll be getting a smash burger at Crowley's, at Carroll, and there'll be all kinds of new amenities at the front of campus. Our legal counsel isn't here tonight, so I can say that out loud. So, is she here? Is Colleen here? I don't think she is. Bob is here. He'll probably tell on me. But I was instructed on advice of counsel to say I read it in the newspaper, not violating my NDA. So anyway, there's a lot of investments going on across campus. Campus has never looked better. There's a tremendous amount of momentum and energy in academics and our student experience and our personal formation, and the contributions of our Jesuit community are really amplified with the recent hiring and Brother Matt. Is Brother Matt still here? Is he off? Is he upstairs? There he is. Oh, he's at the. Okay, Brother Matt has done just an outstanding job, in working with our students on, their formation, inviting them into, the Jesuit traditions which we value so much. So thank you, Matt, for all that you do for Carroll. So momentum is there. Everything looks good. Strong class for fall of 25, stronger class for fall of 26, and stronger class beyond that. So the other message I want to give is gratitude, right? Is just to say thank you to all of you, all of our alumni around the country and around the world. So I've served as president of John Carroll for 5 years, and this will be my final year. I'm retiring at the end of June, right? So this is my last alumni medal ceremony as president of John Carroll. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. But one thing I want to, say to you, right, is that, in the community of alumni of John Carroll, right, the support, enthusiasm, and engagement, right, that you're knowledgeable, right, you're proud, you're engaged with this institution makes a huge difference, okay? I am not a John Carroll alum. Does that surprise anybody? You think it'd be a requirement, right, to be president. But I wish I was, right? And I wish I was because of what you have, right? And I see your connections to each other and your connections to the university and how strong those are and how enduring they are. We have class of 1959 here tonight, and we have class of 2020 here tonight. And it's all interconnected through those generations. And just in homecoming weekend, it's been an amazing opportunity to meet so many different groups as we dedicated the Athletics Hall of Fame, the wrestling room, met with the Pacelli Scholars, and just so many things that are going on. So I'm deeply grateful to all of our alumni in how they have come to the work, right? And this saying, come to the work, is what really inspires me as president of John Carroll, because the Jesuits don't appoint you as president. They mission you as director of the work, right? And this is the great work of the university, and the work of the university is the students, right? And the academic, experiential, and personal formation, and the promise that we make to every student. So at one point in your life, you were the work, right? And now you join us in the work, and I want to always welcome you to the work. Thank you very much.
One more round of applause for Al Mikiak. Send him into retirement. All right. So before we begin our awards here, I'm going to introduce someone who's going to assist me with the awards program here. I want Dave Robinson from the class of 74, who's the president of the John Carroll Alumni Association. Dave himself is a John Carroll alumnus. He won the Alumni Medal in 2022. Your spouse, Molly, also was a recipient of the Alumni Medal. She's in the back here. They're one of 3 Carroll couples who've won the Alumni Medal. The Kramer family, Rich and Chris, are one couple. And we have one half of the other couple over here. Where's Don Brown, class of 70? Don Brown is the other half of the other Carroll couple who's both won the Alumni Medal. And now on to our awards program. So in an effort to be both respectful to our honorees and our audience this evening, each of this evening's honorees will be given a 3 to 4 minute time frame to deliver an acceptance speech following their award. And following the overall event, we will have all of our honorees gather in the O'Connell Reading Room back here. It's in the back of the wall here. We'll do some quick interviews. We'll take some photos. We can arrange family photos as well, but please meet back there. And then we're going to package all of that into interviews and some other content that we'll share with the greater alumni community. And so we'll coordinate that at the end of the program here. And now on to our first award, the Young Alumni Award. This is actually one of my favorite awards that the Alumni Association gives out, because on one level, it's a chance for us as an institution to recognize exemplary young alums who represent the very best of John Carroll. But at the same time, it is a great sign to the other generations of John Carroll alums that the next generation of John Carroll Blue Streaks is just as impressive, just as committed, and just as dedicated to the Jesuit tradition as the previous ones do. So it's a wonderful sign. And we have 2 recipients this year of the Young Alumni Award. And our first recipient is Emily Monteleone from the class of 2008. So when Emily was a student here, she was like many exemplary John Carroll alums in the 21st century. Immersion trips, lots of friends, well-known and respected around campus, studied abroad in Italy. She found what rare free time she had to volunteer as a university emergency medical services team member, a crew she led as a senior. But she also co-chaired something her senior year called the Relay for Life. Now, if you've never heard of the Relay for Life, it's a community-based walkathon, and I still think one of the largest fundraisers for the American Cancer Society. When Emily was a senior, she led a massive effort, co-led, a massive effort that raised $100,000 for cancer research. Amazing, right? Emily, 13 years ago, I was a gift officer. I didn't come close to that number, all right? So clearly, this was a precursor to a very successful career in healthcare. And upon graduation, she went to work for the Cleveland Clinic, where she still works over 17 years later. She first worked in the cancer research space, managing a team of 20 research coordinators, 2 assistants for the Cleveland Clinic's Taussig Cancer Institute. The clinic then asked her to help start an innovative new department for the breast cancer and colorectal cancer programs. She juggled too many responsibilities in this position while developing amazing relationships with both the clinical staff she worked with, but also the physicians they supported. Now, a common theme in Emily's career at the clinic is that she was doing so well, they kept asking her to do more things, right? But because they learned she's a servant leader at heart, and she can be the glue behind the scenes that connects all the pieces of healthcare, nurses, doctors, surgeons, researchers, all the pieces that make up a world-class place like the Cleveland Clinic. She's worked recently to future-proof the Cleveland Clinic workforce. She often provides recommendations and key information to the highest level of Cleveland Clinic executives to help them respond to any possible workforce gap they might encounter. Now, for many of us who have experienced the healthcare industry in a hospital stay or work with a doctor on a cancer diagnosis, we forget that sometimes it's someone like Emily behind the scenes making the entire operation not only work, but thrive and change people's lives. Emily was a part of a team at the clinic that studied the alarming trend that was taking place where patients were having a long time getting treatment, and this was having a negative effect on patient outcomes. She worked with the breast cancer program at the clinic to reduce the time it takes for patients to get treatment, and these results were well published and celebrated, and they ensured that patients get the life-saving care they need in a timely manner. Now, in addition to all the great things she's done at the clinic and all the great charity work she's done and all the professional organizations she's been a part of, she was one of the founding members and president of Gigi's Playhouse Cleveland. Gigi's is an achievement center for individuals with Down syndrome. She was inspired by her young cousin Ryan, and she led a massive grassroots effort to bring this amazing organization to Northeast Ohio. She poured her heart and soul into getting this effort going, running fundraising events, hiring the entire staff. Their director, Liz, who was her first hire, is with us this evening. And she mentors the staff, mentors the board members. She's an amazing force there. And this strong leadership and amazing work she put in on the front end has made this organization an amazing place for Down syndrome families who feel not only comfortable and welcome, but they know they have a home to go to. Now, one thing to note about her service to Gigi's, there are 62 Gigi's Playhouses around the country, right? The Cleveland one is one of the most well-known organizations in the country. Not only are she and her director invited to national conferences to talk about the operation, you have the other 61 locations calling them saying, how do you do this? Teach us, show us the way. It's not very often you look on someone in their mid-30s CV and you see the word President Emeriti. You can see why she's earned that designation, right? Now, before we invite her up here, I want to use a few words her friends describe her. She's an amazing friend, an even better person. She's a professional helper. She's reliable. She's never too busy to lend a hand. And lastly, one friend mentioned she's the type of friend that when you get diagnosed with cancer, she's the first one at your house, and she's standing there waiting to hug you, holding a cake. My kind of friend. What does this say to you about her? Woman for and with others. Emily, please join me on stage. For her exceptional servant leadership and mentorship in healthcare and dedicated service to families and communities in Northeast Ohio, the John Carroll University Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Young Alumni Award to Emily Monteleone. We're going to take a quick photo. They will hold this for you. You can come speak, right? Here.
Thank you. I told Rory he wasn't supposed to make me cry before I said my speech. Well, thank you. I am incredibly honored, and I hope that goes without saying. It is an incredible honor to receive this award and to hear such, incredible experiences and accolades shared in the way that they were. It's very kind. Standing here tonight brings me back to lots of memories from my time here and the transformation that it made in me. Lots of memories, some of which I promise my friends I won't share. We'll keep those to ourselves. Being here truly feels like home. John Carroll's where I first began to understand what it really means to be a part of something bigger than yourself. To learn, to lead, to serve with purpose. The Jesuit values really guided us as students, especially men and women for others, and continue to shape me every day. As student leaders, I learned that leadership isn't about a title, it's about the responsibility to others. Studying abroad in Italy opened my eyes to a wider world and how differences can connect us when we lead with curiosity and compassion. And an emphasis on developing the mind to its fullest potential, anchored in integrity and community, taught me that growth doesn't stop when we graduate, it deepens when we put what we've learned into action. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the people that believed in me well before I believed in myself. To my family, thank you for your unwavering love and support, for giving me the confidence to chase every opportunity with both feet. To my friends, many of whom I met right here at John Carroll, my cheering section and emphasis hype people, you've been my grounding force and my cheerleaders. You are the community that celebrates the good days and steadies me through the hard ones. You remind me that success means little if it isn't shared. Receiving this award isn't just a reflection of my journey, it's a reflection of what John Carroll continues to inspire in all of us. The values we learned here don't fade with time. They ripple outward, shaping how we lead in our workplaces, our communities, and our families. As I look ahead, I'm excited to see how John Carroll continues to form the next generation in ethical, thoughtful, compassionate leaders. Because if there's one thing this community proves again and again, it's that a Jesuit education doesn't just prepare us for a career, it prepares us for a life with service. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm deeply grateful and forever proud to be a part of this John Carroll family.
The second recipient of this year's Young Alumni Award is Chris Rivero from the class of 2010. Chris's John Carroll story is a familiar tale that many of you in this room know very well. Had a great collegiate athletic experience on the football team, received a great education, met his wife here, same with me. Still keeps in touch with his close friends 15 years after graduation. Still keeps in touch with some faculty and staff. We've heard that story before. But that's where the similarities between a lot of us and Chris go away. Chris was born in Tampa, Florida, to a Cuban refugee father and a Spanish immigrant mother. By middle school, Chris's father wound up in prison. His mother, who worked as a nanny and a housekeeper, had lost her job and fell victim to alcoholism and was absent during a 10-year period of his life. By age 11, he was homeless, sometimes sleeping in the neighborhood baseball dugout, fending for himself, trying to survive in an extremely rough neighborhood, and in the process of trying to survive, found himself mixed up with the wrong crowd. He was expelled from 8th grade and regularly involved in criminal activity. He would say years later, "Trouble was all that I knew." Now, for a lot of people, that's where the story ends. Most of us would have become a statistic, but not Chris. His wife, Giselle, likes to say that Chris is one of these people that takes adversity and turns it into fuel for passion. Through sheer force of will, hard work, determination, and an amazing Catholic faith, Chris navigated high school, reconnected with his father, was the recipient of amazing support and grace from friends, coaches, neighbors, strangers along the way, and he developed a love for the game of football, which actually introduced him to our coaches here at John Carroll. Now, talking to Chris's football teammates, they said the nicest things about him. They described him as a hard worker, tough, a steady leader, a great downfield blocker, but not exceptionally fast. That's a tough one, dude. From one slow man to another, it hurts, right? but his coaches described him as mature beyond his age. Now, Chris went to law school, graduated, spent some meaningful and valuable years in the Summit County Public Defender's Office, and then he went into private practice focusing on criminal defense and immigration law. Now, we spoke to a few of Chris's colleagues in the legal community, and one of them mentioned that there are a lot of attorneys who go into Chris's lane, criminal and immigration law, and they really become jaded over time. They develop adversarial relationships pretty much with everybody, and they lose a lot of faith in the system. But not Chris. Chris is always smiling. He focuses on bringing people together and not approaching every situation with a giant chip on his shoulder. His relentless positivity shows in both the results he obtains for his clients, but also the relationships he maintains with prosecutors and judges. And one more testimonial from one of his colleagues. This is an actual quote. Whether he is zealously arguing an asylum case for a refugee client, making closing arguments for an indignant criminal client, or helping a new U.S. citizen obtain their business license, Chris Rivero is an asset to the legal profession and a gift to the community. Now, in light of these glowing testimonials that we've received on Chris, I think I have to issue a public apology to Chris on behalf of the university here. So apparently, when he was a student, he went to the Career Center, he took a career aptitude test, and they said, sales. That's what they said to you. I think there's a lot of people, Chris, who thank God every day that you didn't listen to them and you chose to become a lawyer. Now, one of the principal inspirations for Chris to enter the legal field is his own personal experience with the law. At the age of 15, Chris had to accompany his father to immigration court to both translate for him and advocate for him. His dad didn't speak English. Now, many people would not have the ability or the foresight to see traumatic events like this as opportunities or signs, but as Chris's wife has told us, Chris sees these events, or saw these events, as God reminding him to continue to pursue his passion, which is to serve those in need. Some of those people he serves in need are in the same circumstances that Chris was in when he was a kid, and some of them committed the same crimes that his father did. Chris has often said, the ultimate form of love is giving to others who have nothing to offer you in return. Now, this is what separates many John Carroll alums from the pack. The ability to not only be successful in your field, but to be a transformational leader willing to go the extra mile to make the world a better place. When Chris works with clients in juvenile court, he will talk to the kids about their case, but then he will often tell them, hey, you're in trouble right now, but this is not the end. This is where you can help this fuel your future fires. Now, let me tell you about a story about a kid just like you. Chris, please join me on stage to receive this award. For his tireless advocacy for marginalized communities, commitment to social justice, and dedicated service to others, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to award the 2025 Young Alumni Award to Chris Rivero. While you speak, okay? Thank you.
Same Rory made me cry before I even got up here. Terrible. What a guy. Thank you so much. I want to start by, first of all, thanking John Carroll University, thanking the Alumni Association, the Alumni Board for this award. When you get an award like this, obviously you never feel like you deserve it. So I'm speechless. But Molly, Rory, great. I mean, you put together such a beautiful event. So big shout out to you for that. So whenever I receive recognition or accolades, I like to remind people that one of my mentors told me, everyone gets to their destination alone, but no one gets there by themselves. It's a powerful statement because I could fill this entire room with more people out here who have helped me. I want to thank Mark Lloyd for all your work, for the nomination, Kyle Shear as well. Played football with them here, and they worked hard to get me nominated, and As we know, it's a tedious process, and it's a labor of love. The letters of recommendation, the extra work, the time you have to spend to fulfill the requirements for this, so I appreciate that. My time at John Carroll, for me, what I like to focus on is that, first of all, most importantly, I met my wife here. And as a side effect, my two beautiful children, who are 1 and 3. So without John Carroll, they wouldn't exist, and I couldn't imagine my life without them. So I love this place for that. For me, John Carroll represents safety. I had to escape an environment in order to survive, and John Carroll was my oasis. John Carroll was it was safety for me. It was the first time in my life that I was able to just be a student, be a football player. You know, I was telling my wife stories when she was asking me what I was gonna say tonight. I was telling her stories about in high school how someone threatened me with a gun because his girlfriend thought I was cute or something. I didn't even know this person. You know, that's how things happen where I'm from. You don't even have to know someone for them to dislike you and try to harm you. And it's sad, but that was the reality of it. John Carroll was safe. John Carroll was the first time I was able to really just be a kid and just play football and have friends, and friends that I knew didn't have any ulterior motives. And that's why this place holds a very special spot in my heart. And it seems kind of simple, but people ask me, why would you move from Tampa, Florida to Cleveland, Ohio? And I'm like, I moved here to survive. And you know, some people are like, man, aren't you exaggerating a little bit? Is it really that bad? Well, in 2023, my oldest brother was killed. So it's not an exaggeration. I moved here, I came here to survive. And I'm happy to say I've done more than that. And, you know, I'm just extremely humbled. And I just want everyone to know that this is not my award, this is our award. My family, the countless people who helped me, people who let me sleep in their house, people who just took me in when I was homeless as a kid, they had no idea what kind of baggage I was bringing into their home. To think about that as an adult with children in my house, to bring in a stranger who I have no idea who they are and what they could bring into my home, that's the purest form of love. And I just wanted to highlight that tonight. And I feel all the love in this room, and I feel the love from accepting this award and receiving this award. And it's just a blessing to have my family here and all my friends here. And again, thank you, everyone.
I don't know how we follow that one up, all right? So in the 139-year history of John Carroll University, there's been a lot of Blue Streaks who've come back to campus and served as distinguished faculty and served in our staff and run vital campus departments. And in 2020, we gave a name to this award, to this recognition, the Reverend Casey Bucala S.J. Distinguished Achievement Award, which recognizes some of the staff and faculty who've been at John Carroll Blue Streak. Now, everybody in this room knows the Bucala name, or many of you do, and you know that name because he changed people's lives. So it's an incredibly appropriate award to give out, and we're incredibly happy for this year's recipient, Dr. Martina Moore, a graduate alumnus from the class of 2000. So as Al said during his remarks, we all know one of the biggest academic developments here on campus in the last 5 years has been the creation of the College of Health. And you can see the most visible sign above me here, the Nader Family Nursing Simulation Labs. So you've got in there nursing, you've got exercise science, all our pre-health programs. Everything in the College of Health is training the next generation of healthcare leaders. But don't forget about the amazing counseling department we have here at John Carroll, and it's led by Dr. Moore. All right? Dr. Moore has over 20 years of clinical operations experience. She's the CEO of Moore Counseling, which is a successful behavioral health agency that she runs. But tonight, we're not talking about that, Dr. Moore. We're talking about what you do here on campus, all right? We could do a whole night dedicated to what you do out of here, but tonight, it's about John Carroll. She's been a member of the faculty since 2013, and she's been the chair of the counseling department for the last 3 years. And she's had an outsized impact on the trajectory of the university, but also the healthcare offerings we offer our students. Her colleagues describe her as an innovator, entrepreneurial, an amazing motivator, a force around campus, and someone who always puts our students first. Our staff who manage all the grants on our campus say she is a privilege to work with, and it's a privilege to have her here at John Carroll University. So during her short time as chair, the number of students in our counseling program have gone up 76%. This isn't just undergraduate growth. The biggest growth has been on the graduate side, and it is our largest graduate program at John Carroll, and the demand for this program continues to rise. Dr. Moore is an instrumental part of this growth, which is also a key reason for our continued success as well. She's developed an additional concentration within the program. She's launched a fully online clinical mental health counseling program, and for the last 4 years, she's coordinated the counseling department's study abroad program in Vietnam, an existing program that she revived after the COVID-19 pandemic. Our students spend 2.5 weeks in Ho Chi Minh City, and they get an amazing crash course in mental health on the international stage. Dr. Moore, if you need help with that trip, I'm readily available, okay? Dr. Moore is also a prolific grant fundraiser at John Carroll. She's easily one of the top 2 faculty members in terms of the number and size of the grants being awarded each year here at John Carroll. And some of these things that she's brought in have been amazingly pivotal in the upward trajectory of the university, but they've also just been amazingly inspirational. In 2018, we received a behavioral health grant to offer certificate programs to train counselors to treat people with substance abuse disorders. This was happening just as the opioid crisis was ravaging this area. Dr. Moore's business served as a training center for the program, and this was a really, really exciting moment for John Carroll to step into a major crisis, and Dr. Moore was in the middle of it. She's also secured over $500,000 in scholarship awards from the Great Minds Fellowship, which is a grant program here in the state of Ohio that seeks to grow the behavioral health workforce here. Over 200 students have matriculated to John Carroll because of the support, and it is not crazy to say that without that money, they would not have been here. She continues to be an integral part of the university's research programs and our growing grant submission process. She's a part of a lot of big grants we have in the field, and we're very optimistic about them, and they will continue to support the upward trajectory of John Carroll. And these grants have created added exposure for the counseling program, the university at large, but they've also created pipelines on both sides. New kids coming to John Carroll, kids going to new organizations for internships and jobs, and it's really broadened John Carroll's reach on both sides of the ledger. Now, the last thing I will say about Dr. Moore before I invite her to the stage is that everyone who works with her says she is mission focused, and that's a buzzword here. Now, in the last 4 years, the Jesuits last couple of years, the Jesuit order has developed these 4 apostolic preferences. These are like a horizon of sorts for places like John Carroll, for imagination, for inspiration, but they're supposed to guide us as we implement the Jesuit mission here. And one of those preferences is to walk with the excluded, to go out and serve the estranged, the vulnerable, the marginalized, those who are alienated. Dr. Moore will help meet this demand for highly skilled, licensed, committed, inspired young people to work in mental health and the behavioral health fields. Now, in a world where many of us are simply looking for a trusting soul to speak with or to confide in during a hard day or a difficult time, it is incredibly reassuring to know that because of Dr. Moore and her team, in the future, there's going to be more counselors, mediators, mental health specialists that are going to be John Carroll Blue Streaks. So whether it's an NFL front office exec, a bishop, a CEO, or the many accountants we've graduated, more Blue Streaks going into tough, challenging fields is good for society, it's good for everybody. Dr. Moore, please join me on stage to accept this award. For her impactful contributions to the university, her advocacy for the mental health for everyone, and her ability to inspire and challenge her students, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Reverend Casey Bucala Distinguished Achievement Award to Dr. Martina Moore.
Oh, sure.
Well, good evening. I'm not one that usually tears up, but they got me tonight. I want to start by thanking my husband and my family for their support. I also want to thank Dr. Denise Ben-Porth, who nominated me for this award. I am deeply honored and humbled to receive the Dr. Casey Bucala Distinguished Achievement Award. To be recognized in the name of a man who embodied the Jesuit spirit of service, compassion, and lifelong dedication to others is truly humbling. As I reflect on this moment, I must first start by thanking my mom. Mom, thank you. My mother just turned 80 this year, and she is an amazing woman and has truly inspired me. She is a woman who taught me service and compassion, and I also can't help but to think about my father. When he returned from the Vietnam War in 1968, he was hired in Cleveland by Picker X-Ray as an engineer. As part of his training, my father came to John Carroll University on a certificate program that the company sponsored. And my father would talk about that training all the time. And he said he wanted his children to go to John Carroll. He wanted to get his degree from John Carroll, but he had to work and raise his children. And so his experience with the Jesuits shaped us. My father carried those Jesuit principles with him: faith, service, and humility. He passed away last September. And my father was so proud when I attended John Carroll and graduated from here. He often reminded me of my calling to serve others, and he would push me to show up even when I didn't want to. After my father passed away last September, I found myself thinking often about his strength and his unwavering sense of purpose. One day, our Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Bonnie, emailed me, and she asked could I come to her office to see her the next day. And I thought, oh boy, what have I done now? She didn't tell me what she wanted. She just said she'd come see me for a minute. I was so nervous. All night I was thinking, I must have said something to somebody. But that night, it was the first night that I had an experience that people had talked to me about after losing a loved one. I had a dream about my father. And I was in my office here at John Carroll, and I looked over, and he was sitting next to me at the table, and he was just smiling. And he said nothing to me. That next morning, I got up that afternoon, I went to Bonnie's office, and there was she and the rest of the alumni team, and they told me that I had won this award. I had been nominated and won this award. And as soon as they said that, I remembered the dream, and I started to cry. And it was at that moment that I thought about my father and his connection to this university and his belief in serving others, and I knew he was proud. See, this award is not just about my work. It's about legacy, love, and living the Jesuit mission of being a person with others and for others. It's about honoring those who came before me and carrying their light forward. What I have learned is that leaving a legacy is not about leaving something valuable in the world, but it's about leaving something valuable in the people of the world. Thank you to the John Carroll community for allowing me to live out the mission every day. And thank you, Dad, for reminding me through faith and grace that our calling to serve never ends. God bless you.
And now for our final awards of the evening. John Carroll's awarded the Alumni Medal for over a half century, and it remains the highest honor given out by the Alumni Association. So aside from the pandemic year of 2020, that's been given out annually since 1961, the medal recognizes professional accomplishments, exemplary family and personal life, contributions to the broader community, and dedicated service and commitment to John Carroll University. Now, I'd like to take a moment here and ask all of those in attendance who have previously received the Alumni Medal to please stand. Tonight's honorees, look at the company you're joining, all right? For the next year, our photos of all our awardees will hang in the Alumni Medal display, which is housed in Robin Hall, 3rd floor, in the Alumni Lounge, which is a beautiful memorabilia room and a must-see for any John Carroll graduate. It's also the room the Jesuits used to smoke cigarettes and have drinks in, so it's quite appropriate, okay? So, without further ado, let's meet tonight's honorees, and we're excited to present to you the medalists as seen through the eyes of those who know them best. Our first recipient of the Alumni Medal is Phil Giacinti Jr. from the class of 1968. Please enjoy this tribute video.
Phil and I first met when I moved into his block when we were 7 years old. As kids, we were all about sports. We were all about talking about sports and playing sports. And Phil was the classic overachiever as an athlete.
He never missed a game for any reason in the years he played for us, which is a rarity in college football.
I'm proud to say that I've known Phil Giacinti for almost 60 years, from the very first day that I stepped onto the campus at John Carroll. I've had the pleasure of knowing Phil as a teammate, a mentor, team captain, and I've had the honor to call Phil my big brother in the Iota Chi Epsilon fraternity, and I share another special brotherhood with Phil as a United States Marine.
He's a real kind and caring guy, and I know he's been doing some great work with the youth in the San Diego area. He does a lot of pro bono work as an attorney.
His commitment to our students and to helping young practicing attorneys become fully committed lawyers, committed to the project of the rule of law, committed to fairness, committed to social justice. He exudes these values.
Bill is a remarkable individual in that he is loyal. He is a man of significant prestige and integrity. When Phil speaks, people listen, and he's dedicated to the John Carroll University. It's very important to him.
We had a common, a mutual friend from Chicago by the name of Fred Hartman. And Fred was from Brother Rice High School in the city here. And Fred was in the platoon leaders class, a Marine Corps program while he was at John Carroll. And unfortunately, Fred lost his life in Vietnam. Shortly after Fred passed away, Phil was very instrumental in starting the Fred Hartman Memorial Scholarship.
That showed some depth of character, I believe, and knowing that, he was putting some money on the line and continues to do so today.
He's a tremendous family man. His children are just great people, and those are the things I admire about him.
Phil continued to be the man he was at John Carroll for the rest of his life.
Bill, congratulations on your receiving this award. It is well deserved. You have made John Carroll a better place with your actions and dedication to the university.
Phil, I'm so happy for you that you're getting this deserving honor. It's obviously that you love this university, and it's refreshing to know that this university loves you.
couldn't be more happy for you. Congratulations.
Phil, I'm honored and blessed to be a part of your being awarded the John Carroll Alumni Medal, and equally honored and blessed to be able to call you my teammate, my captain, my fraternity brother, my brother Marine, and my friend.
Phil, congratulations on winning the alumni medal. I'll probably never be able to thank you properly for all you have done for me.
Hey, Phil, glad that a guy from the Chicagoland area is a recipient, and really proud of you. Go Blue Streaks.
Phil, will you please join me on stage to receive the highest honor from John Carroll University? So Phil, before we give you the honor here, there was two groups of people that wanted to send in a special congratulations. So if you look at the screen here, the first one is the captains of the John Carroll football team. And they gave you the greatest honor by winning 66-7 today. So that's the greatest honor they could have done to you, all right? The second group that wanted to say congratulations is the ROTC program here at John Carroll. They had exercises on campus this week. They stood for attention, and they wanted to salute you for your service to our country and your service in honoring the legacy of your dear friend, Fred Hartman. There's a lot of jokes that can be made about a group of Army cadets saluting a Marine, but we're not going to make those jokes tonight. We'll make them another time. So for his selfless service to the profession, his community, and our country, along with his distinguished leadership and dedication to John Carroll University, and is serving as an exemplar of the Jesuit tenet of being a man for and with others, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Alumni Medal to Philip G. Giacinti, Jr. Congratulations.
One of the best jobs I ever had is working as a volunteer at San Diego's Children's Hospital, working for a lady that you'll find in your brochure there named Helen Bernardi. It was early one morning, about 6 in the morning. They were shorthanded, and Mrs. Bernardi is going to teach me how to tube feed the children. She gets a little frustrated with me. She looks at me and she says, "Philip, you're so damn stupid. How the hell did you get out of college?" Well, Mrs. Bernardi, if you're looking down now, I'm going to tell you how I got out of college. I got a chance to play a game I loved despite my size because a coach gave me a chance. I got to play with some great teammates, some of whom are in the Hall of Fame at the other end of the campus. They took good care of me. For 4 years, I was a member of a fraternity, excuse me, that was a real brotherhood and still is a real brotherhood. 8 of them, I believe, have preceded me in receiving this award. They've done an incredible job for the university. My 2 daughters have my brothers as their godfather. Thank you, IXY. I was taught in the Jesuit tradition by professors who gave me their best effort. And I'll never forget that. To my wife and my 3 children for their unconditional love, thank you very much. I'm honored to share this award tonight with the other recipients, all of the other recipients. It's an honor to be in your presence. Thank you to the Alumni Association. I appreciate this very much. Thank you.
Our next recipient of the Alumni Medal is Linda Meglin from the class of 1974. Please enjoy this short video tribute.
Linda's a warrior, and she grew up in a class of warriors at John Carroll. Linda was in the second class of on-campus females. Those women took the university by storm.
Linda is the embodiment of what you would want in a John Carroll graduate and alum. She's certainly someone who is perpetually thinking about the greater good of the school, the lessons and values that it instills in the students who come through there.
I think it's hard to think of anybody who is a more enthusiastic backer of John Carroll University than Linda. And secondly, a more enthusiastic supporter of the Tim Russert Department of Communication, which she comes to naturally because of her long association with Tim.
She is a ball of energy, one of the kindest individuals I've ever met, very creative, very thoughtful. She brings such a breadth of knowledge to our board meetings, really been an excellent board member.
She had a vibrant personality that engaged me and all the alumni that she worked with, showing her passion and dedication for John Carroll and her great sense of support in her role as an alumni board leader.
To me, Linda was a pioneer. She was the first female president in any of the Teledyne companies. So she broke through that glass ceiling pretty early, which was 1988.
As president of our neighborhood association, Linda led efforts to increase safety, encourage traffic calming, and develop the neighborhood in a way sympathetic to its history and its diversity.
The amount of time and effort that she put into serving our community, building our community, making sure that people's needs were met. Linda's impact in our neighborhood can be seen throughout the entire area.
What really stands out, I would say, are how she lives her Jesuit values and how she really brings that into all that she does.
Tim Russert likes to think he was the president of the student union. Linda Meglin ran the student union.
I think about the documentary she did about my late father. You know, there's so much out there about his time at NBC or his time working in politics. There's very little about the formation of a young Tim Russert and how that ultimately came together. And she was able to do that with her documentary regarding my father's time at John Carroll.
No one else could have done that film in such a personal way, in such a John Carroll way, but Linda.
The university and Tim Russert's friends and pals at the university and in the university club owe Linda a huge debt of gratitude.
If that medal didn't exist, it could have been created with Linda in mind, because that's the kind of service that she has given to this university.
Linda is deserving of the Alumni Medal from John Carroll because of really her lifetime of commitment and dedication to John Carroll.
Congratulations, Linda. You are so deserving of this award.
Congratulations, Linda. So well deserved, and I'm so proud to call you my friend.
Congratulations, Linda, on this well-deserved honor.
Congratulations, Linda. So excited for you in receiving this amazing award. You're so deserving and just so happy for you.
Congratulations, Linda. So well deserved. I'm really happy for you and we'll look forward to celebrating with you.
I'm so honored to have the opportunity to serve with you on the board, but most importantly, I'm so honored and happy to have you as a friend. Congratulations.
Linda, congratulations on the award. I can't think of anyone more deserving.
Linda, congratulations to you. Thank you for everything you've done for me and for the memory of Tim Russert and John Carroll University. You're the best.
Linda, it's your old pal Luke Russert. Congratulations. Nobody deserves this honor more than you do. You are the embodiment of everything that is great about John Carroll University. God bless you.
Linda, will you please join me on stage to receive the highest honor from John Carroll University? For her dedication to her community, her accomplishments in business, her rigorous legacy and commitment to John Carroll University, and her embodiment of the Jesuit tenet of being a woman for and with others, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Alumni Medal to Linda M. Meglin.
Well, good evening. Thank you. Thank you, John Carroll Alumni Association, for this incredible honor. And thank you to my self-assembled Edgewater family and longtime friends for being here tonight, and to all those who participated in that wonderful video. Great job, Andy and Lisa, and maybe we just show that again and not have me speak. I have to tell you, it feels especially good tonight because this is my 6th nomination for this award. Yes, 5 times before my name was read, 5 times others walked away with this medal. So I am John Carroll's very own Susan Lucci. So now, and inside baseball, the reason is that I'm a past president of the Alumni Association, and that's the group that votes. And so Dave Vitito and Rory called me up, go, don't come, don't come, don't come. And I'm like, could you tell me to come? You know, that's how I know that I was nominated 6 times. But I am a proud graduate of the Tim Russert Department of Communication. And I learned early on that everything worth remembering begins with a good story. In journalism, we learn the story is based on facts, unless, of course, you work for Fox News. In my marketing career, the story is still based on facts. We just describe them in the most embellished and superlative way. But the best stories, the ones that truly matter, are the personal ones. For me, my story includes a little piece of John Carroll in every chapter. When I arrived here as one of the 2nd group of women admitted to John Carroll more than 50 years ago, I didn't realize I was joining a revolution. I just thought I was going to college. But make no mistake, we were pioneers. And as my friend Ron Denowith so aptly puts it, we were warriors. We learned to raise our hands a little higher, make our voices a little louder, just to be heard in the sea of men who really didn't know what to do with us. The experience was a little overwhelming. We didn't have a roadmap. We were the test case, an experiment. But somewhere between the classroom and the cafeteria, the Rathskeller and the residence halls, the U Club concerts, and their ubiquitous green jackets, we discovered something. We belonged. And John Carroll, to its credit, learned something too, that letting women in didn't just change the student body. It changed the spirit of the university. It made this place richer, louder, more determined, and let's be honest, a lot more organized, and quite frankly, a little prettier. So tonight, as I look around and see how far we've come, I think of those early days with enormous gratitude for the professors who believed in us, the classmates who respected us, and the friends who laughed with us, and to all the women who walked these halls first, in courage and sometimes in sheer disbelief. We just didn't attend John Carroll, we shaped it. So today, tonight, and to the next generation, especially the young women out there, remember, you never know when you're making history. Sometimes it looks like just showing up or speaking up and refusing to be the footnote in somebody else's story. So thank you, John Carroll. John Carroll community, you know, I've been involved for so long, past, present, and hopefully the future. Thank you, John Carroll, for opening my mind and heart to write my own story, and for being part of my next chapter as chair of the Russert Department Speaker Series, as a JCU board member, and now as an alumni medalist. Thank you.
I missed a slide in the deck here. There was one other group that wanted to say congratulations. This is the faculty from our Tim Russert Department of Communication, and only Brent Brossman could be here tonight, but they all wanted to make sure that you knew how happy they are, how proud of you they are, and how thankful for everything you've done for Tim Russert's legacy and the Department of Communications here. So thank you, Linda. Thank you. Our next recipient of the Alumni Medal is Tony Nader from the JCU class of 1985. Please enjoy this short video tribute.
Tony and I met when we started at John Carroll University in 1981, our freshman year. We both were assigned to Burnett Hall and been good friends since that time.
I met Tony when I was a freshman at John Carroll in '81. So I don't know, it's, my gosh, it's 44 years ago?
Tony was my boss at NEW, which is where he was the CEO and I was the Chief Human Resources Officer. And then when I left NEW, I joined Innova Health System. And in that role, I worked very closely with him again.
I know Tony is board chair of Innova Health System, the largest health system in the greater Washington, D.C. area. And as board chair, he led the search for a new CEO, and fortunately, they chose me to lead the organization.
He's been actively involved in John Carroll since graduating. From the very beginning, he's always been a big contributor, and I know he's played a big role in John Carroll's success.
He does things unassumingly, and he does things without fanfare. And whatever he touches, you know, with his business and, you know, with his efforts with John Carroll, he succeeds, you know, but he succeeds with a purpose.
Tony takes his responsibility so seriously. So when he was chairing the search committee for CEO of Innova, he flew in on a Sunday morning after going to Mass the night before. He sat down in our living room, not just with me, but with my wife, because he cared enough about the community, cared enough about our patients, that he was willing to go to that effort. That's really unique.
He had helped create the Nader Family Foundation nursing sim lab. On par, it looks exactly how a medical ICU is and exactly how it works. The technical aspects combined with John Carroll's teaching approach, the Jesuit approach to teaching, will create medical providers that have unique skills far and above those, I think, at other institutions.
You would never know from meeting him how successful of a person he's been, just by the very nature of him as a person. And he's been that way to members of the community, to his friends, to his family.
I will say Tony is an outstanding representative of John Carroll University and its tenants. Tony has had a tremendously successful career, but he's never lost sight of what really matters: integrity, respect, empathy, his faith, and doing the right thing. And he's guided by his values in every decision, and he inspires everybody around him to do the same.
Why Tony deserves this award? It's by consistently living his values. His faith and having an impact and caring for others is immense.
Tony, congratulations. You are so deserving. I know you don't like this because you're a humble person, but congratulations. You deserve everything. We love you.
My hearty congratulations, Tony.
Tony, congratulations on this tremendous honor and recognition. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award than you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Tony, on an award well deserved. Thank you for your support to John Carroll University, the community, and for being a good friend of mine for over 40 years. Honor it on John Carroll.
Tony, will you please join me on stage to accept the highest honor from John Carroll University? Before Dave gives you the medal, there was one more person, Tony, who had a special tribute for you, and it's actually a video, so I'd ask you to look at this monitor real quick.
Hello, friends. And Tony Nader, you know how much we love you, and congratulations on this fantastic recognition and award from your alma mater. We all have that Jesuit ideal built into us, and John Carroll Award for you is really a very, very special recognition of everything that you stand for, everything that your family stands for, and it's most deserved. I'm thrilled, privileged, and honored to call you a close friend, but more importantly, our partner. I know everything that you bring to our organization, and to our community, and to everyone that you've touched in your life and career. So congratulations, well deserved, and have some fun with it tonight.
For those of you who are not from the DC area like I am, that is Ted Leonsis, who's the principal owner of the Washington Wizards, Capitals, Mystics, and Monumental Sports, of which your family is a minority owner. And I'm a huge DC sports fan, so that was really fun for me to organize. So, for his dedication to the well-being for all and to the Jesuit tenet of Cura Personalis, along with his philanthropy, community service, strong leadership, his enduring legacy and commitment to John Carroll University, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Alumni Medal to Anthony P. Nader III. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you, first of all, to the Alumni Board. And I'm truly honored and humbled to be receiving this award. And I also want to congratulate all the other recipients as well. I am in awe of all of you for all the great work that you've done. I also want to thank my family and friends who have both nominated me and are here tonight. Well, actually, when I first learned about the award, I cursed my friends, Dr. Wally Beleza, because I try to stay a little under the radar. And I felt like I really didn't do anything special to deserve this. In fact, when Andre Calabretta, our main contact here at John Carroll, shared with my wife and I at a dinner that I had won the award, it really caused me to pause and ask, did I really do anything special? But hold on to that thought. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. First, a few reflections. Attending John Carroll had an enormous impact on me. As a young kid coming out of Detroit, and being the first person to attend college, I didn't know what I was doing. The priests, the faculty, my friends, my fellow Alpha Kappa Psi members really provided an extended family for me and kind of taught me the way. The Jesuit values, as we've already heard tonight many times, of being men and women for others, played a big role in helping me become who I am today. See, attending John Carroll was kind of out of the reach from me and my family's perspective, from a financial perspective. However, I had financial aid, I had many jobs throughout school, and I received a special grant from Dean McNally my junior year while he and I were talking at the Rat Bar, and it was clear that I was not going to be able to afford to come back the next semester. Truly, this was an example of somebody looking out for someone else. Actually, that has provided an inspiration for both my wife, Annette, and I in creating a Nader Family Scholarship, which we did a number of years ago, so others who are also not quite fortunate enough to be able to afford this could attend John Carroll. So I was really lucky to have many jobs while attending here during the school year. As I already mentioned, the jobs were important for me financially because I couldn't afford to be here without them, but I also learned that being determined, working hard, and really being kind to others almost always worked out. And for me, that's the definition of a servant leader. I worked at the Rat Bar. I worked at the bookstore. I worked at the faculty dining room. In fact, when I was a senior, I managed the faculty dining room, the Rat Bar, and the cafeteria. It was a great opportunity to learn, great experiences throughout. And as I said, it really helped provide a foundation for me as I became a leader in other ways. So this alumni medal, as we've already heard, recognizes several accomplishments in several different areas. But let me start by saying that I've been extremely blessed, fortunate, and lucky throughout my life. Starting from really being born into a family that would do anything for any one of us, no matter what. I was actually lucky to get into John Carroll, to get a great education, and to develop lifelong friends. In fact, most of the rest of my professional, personal, and community service all have a tie to John Carroll. Professionally, Jeff Linker, a fraternity brother from Alpha Kappa Psi, interned at Progressive Insurance. He eventually referred me in, and I worked there, eventually leaving in 1990 to work for a client who was mentioned up here, National Electronics Warranty, or NEW. Most of you never heard of that. We grew from sort of nothing to 6,000 people. I became the CEO. We did $1.2 billion in revenue for extended service protection for consumer products. In 2008, we merged it with Assurion successfully, and my partner Fred and I went off to create Swan and Legend Ventures, which you saw on the board as well. Personally, Jeff also introduced me to my wife, Annette. Annette also is a JCU alum, and she was a year behind me. She was a commuter, so I never knew her. Jeff introduced us at a bar, and we've now been married 34 years. My 3 children, we have 3 children. My daughter, Emily, is here with her fiance, Dylan. My son, Mitch, is here with his longtime girlfriend, Abby. And my son, Tony, and his wife, my daughter-in-law, Chelsea, are at home in Virginia, literally expecting our first grandchild any day. So I give full credit to my wife, Annette, for raising terrific kids. From a community perspective, I served on the board of the largest health system in Northern Virginia, Inova, which Dr. Jones explained already. I served on the board since 2000. I was the chair for 7 years, and as he mentioned, my first job was to replace a 35-year CEO with someone new. We did a national search, took 6 months, and I learned a lot about the value of great health systems like we have here, University Health Systems and the Cleveland Clinic. Oops, this is where I usually stop and apologize when I'm in Cleveland. See, Dr. Jones, who you saw on the screen, was from the Cleveland Clinic. He was the president. And after the 6-month search, he clearly shined. So while he's been doing a terrific job in Virginia for the last 7 years, I'm sorry, Cleveland, because he's awesome. Anyway, that was an inspiration for us as we learned a lot about healthcare with what the great work nurses do. And it helped inspire Annette and I to help found the John Carroll's Nursing Simulation Center. I'm horrified because I can tell that some of you can see that behind me. And as I said, I try to stay a little bit behind the radar. So anyway, in closing, when Rory goes like this, does that mean, come on, keep going? The answer to the question that I told you I would get back to when Andre asked me that question and told me about this award was, did I do anything special? And the answer is no. It's simply living the life that I have been super lucky and blessed to have, and doing the right thing by being men and women for others, and following a saying that my kids are tired of hearing, to whom much is given, much is expected. So Annette and I are just trying to return the blessings that we have so gratefully received. And with that, I thank you for this great honor.
I swear I wasn't doing anything, all right? Our next Alumni Medal recipient is Edward Parks from the JCU class of 1961. Please enjoy this short tribute video.
I met Ed in 1957 when we were freshmen at John Carroll University. Before you reach for your calculators, that's 68 years ago.
I've known Ed for 55 years, and we began our relationship at Plant Moran, but it's continued on. He's the real deal, I'll say.
Describing Ed is, like describing one of the most important people you ever met in your life. I think Ed is one of the finest people I've ever met in my life because of all the things he embodies. His moral compass is stuck on true north.
When I first met Ed, I was a college intern at Plant Moran, which is one of the nation's largest accounting, tax, wealth management firms. And Ed was the managing partner of the firm. Subsequently, I joined the firm full-time and became a partner and worked with Ed for almost 20 years.
Ed is the consummate professional. He is a great counselor. We do family business together, and Ed understands families better than anybody that I've ever dealt with. The nuances, the emotional connections, how they relate to the business setting in which we operate.
He has been at an elite level his entire life, be it educationally, academically, professionally, or as a community leader in the Detroit area.
He could be, in a way, one of the most famous people that I know, but he's so humble. A lot of his activities are very focused on the inner city of Detroit, which seems very close to his heart.
He chose to spend countless hours supporting education as a way to make the world a better place, and has just invested thousands of hours, I would say, of his own time on this endeavor.
Ed has been working with a very significant donor for decades in trying to improve the school experiences of young inner city kids in Detroit. And he's really made a difference. His Catholic faith is such a significant part of who he is.
Students in Detroit that go to these schools will achieve a 90% graduation rate and a 90% post-secondary admissions rate, transforming the lives of Detroit families. that did not have access to education like that in the past.
Ed is deserving of the Alumni Medal because what he's given back. He truly is a role model for John Carroll's alumni and students.
Ed, thank you so much for caring for all of us over all these years. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor and recognition.
You are an amazing man, and I am thrilled to see you recognized.
Ed, congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. On behalf of my husband, Mark, and I, congratulations. We are so honored to know you, and we love you.
Ed, congratulations on your receipt of this award. Everything that you've done professionally and in the charitable community makes you a worthy recipient of this great award from John Carroll.
Congratulations, Ed. You are so deserving of this award. Check out this hat. You know what it means.
Ed, will you please join me on stage to receive the highest honor from John Carroll University? So Ed, like a theme for tonight, there was one more group that wanted to say congratulations on you receiving this award. So if you see this monitor real quick, it was referenced in his video. Ed is a prolific supporter of education for inner city kids in Detroit. These are kids from the University Prep Academy High School. Their campus is named the Ed Parks campus, all right? And they wanted to say congratulations, and if you look closely, there is a portrait of Ed Parks in the back of this photo, all right, which is incredible. So for his dedication to Catholic education for all youth, his professional accomplishments, and his commitment to the community, and his embodiment of the Jesuit tenet of faith that does justice, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Alumni Medal to Edward M. Parks.
Well, this is quite something, isn't it? When I was young, I got the mumps. I didn't deserve it. Now I got this award. Don't deserve it either. But the kindness of all of you, particularly people who put this event together and all the time and effort, aren't they amazing to do that? So some thanks. First to my lovely wife, Jerry, of 40 years, and her predecessor, Janet, who attended with me the military ball at John Carroll in 1960. I don't know if we're still doing a military ball or my family here, here also in Michigan, Chicago, Minneapolis, Portland. Jerry helped me here. Well, New York City. My business partners who I've spent so many times with, and my personal friends, particularly the young Mr. Jerry O'Connell. Where did Jerry go? He was here someplace. Of course, special thanks to all of you here at Carroll. I am very grateful to be included with this gang that preceded me, who are obviously younger and for the most part taller, although that one guy, he might have been as short as me, I don't know. They say I have to make some comments, and if you're going to do that thing, yeah, okay. But, you know, it's their fault. They ask you to do this. They don't. So here goes. I was a dorm student at Dolan, Pacelli, and Burnett. And my senior year, I finally got out of that. And I worked in a fancy home in Shaker Heights, a home of which I'd never been acquainted with before. So that was a good thing. Then I was also, however, a former diner in the worst college cafeteria in the state of Ohio. It was in the basement of the Griselli Tower building. And when the doors opened in the wintertime, the snow blew in over your food. I mean, this is a great university. I also am a former fan of the Blue Streaks. Now, in 1960, the Blue Streaks were a little different team than they are now. They played in a local high school football field. The good news was if it rained, you could leave. And most of us did about halftime, and we went to the Mayflower Bar. And the size of the crowd from the football game could not fill the Mayflower Bar. So this gang here today, you know, this is a whole thing we never experienced. It's just amazing. I don't know what to do with it. So here I am, a very proud alum because I've watched this university grow and prosper, and this campus is so different. I went to business school in a repossessed Army surplus building. That was where the student center is now. That was a really swell place. It was on uneven ground too, so that didn't help. But, oh, I forgot to tell you. I have a real distinction. Nobody has this distinction, I think, in the history of John Carroll. I was a finalist for president of the student union. Pretty impressive, right? And I lost. I lost to a vegetarian Hindu. Truth, it was so unique in 1960 that it made the Associated Press nationally. Across the whole country, I was a failure. But you know, this is a pretty impressive place. So 64 years, by God, 64 years later, here I am with this magnificent place, and I'm so proud of you all and what you've done. And by the way, it was pretty good school then too. It just wasn't quite as fancy. So what happened? John Carroll and the Jesuits really gave me the chance to understand my blessings and also my responsibilities that came from those blessings. Many times I know I've failed in thought and in word, but you know, the Carroll and the Jesuits hang around you. They just hang around. So what did we do? What came from it? Well, one thing we did was they asked it, well, they said, tell them how that influenced you. Well, I joined a small, teeny accounting firm that was led by a Jesuit-trained man. So he and many of us, not many of us Jesuit-trained, but many of us tried to do something that was unique. We tried to create a professional firm that was based on the golden rule, to treating other people as you wish to be treated. And we based it and we articulated it. We preached it, to treat others as we wish to be treated, to put the client's interests first, not our own, to not call people employees. They aren't employees. They're your colleagues. to do as much for the individual as we could, up to the point of hurting the team, but do as much for the individual as we could. Where did all that stuff come from to lead a balanced life? Where did it all come from? It came from Aristotle, it came from Ignatius, but in my case, it came from John Carroll, because we learned those things here about men and, well, we finally had women, women for others. I'm very pleased that this lady that preceded me led the campaign there. We didn't even understand women, much less. I mean, it was an unusual place. And so here we are. John Carroll is 64 years later, has this enormous momentum, making people prepared for careers and for so much more. And I really thank John Carroll, because it did that for me, and I know it will do for the graduates to come. Thank you.
Our final Alumni Medal recipient this evening is Dan Sansoni from the class of 1974. Please enjoy this short tribute video.
I am honored to speak about my friend Dan Sansoni, who's been my great good friend for over 37 years. We were employed at Vulcan Materials Company in the corporate headquarters.
Well, I met Dan my very first day on campus as a dorm student here at Dolan Hall. He was in room 123. I was 5 doors down in 128.
We were great friends. We've been friends since we attended John Carroll together in 1970 to 74. He's just a very reliable guy, always has been. You know, there were a lot of us that weren't exactly reliable, or we had our reliable moments, but Sands was always kind of the anchor.
My relationship with Dan, although I've known him for over 50 years, it really blossomed when I joined the board and got to spend time with Dan.
He was a photographer, and he did work for the paper, the school newspaper, as a photographer. And that was the days when a camera was something that was sophisticated. Back then, you had to be a little bit talented, and he was.
So I met Dan Sansoni back in the fall of 1970, as we were both assigned to 123 Dolan Hall as roommates our freshman year at Carroll. I would say he embodies the Jesuit ethos of men for others, people for others, and caring for others.
I've known Dan for maybe the last 15 to 20 years. Both of us have been asked to serve on a local organization, Holy Family Cristo Rey Catholic High School, which is an inner city school, part of the Cristo Rey network out of Chicago.
You've been a great asset to your alma mater, as well as to the Birmingham community.
It doesn't matter whether he is mentoring young students into tomorrow's leaders, or if he's just really quietly helping someone in need. He really lives and models the Christian ideal of helping others. He really does.
We both share a lot of experiences with some of the great faculty, like A. Jerome Clifford, who was our finance instructor and was also very influential in the Fed and monetary policy.
I'm so impressed with the service that Dan has delivered to the board of directors and the university. at a time when the university really needed his expertise. He gave it.
I see Dan as one of God's great creations. I think he's most deserving for this medal because of his commitment to his family, his knowledge and expertise that he's given as an executive, and most importantly, he's made time for John Carroll and in various capacities over the years.
He is a very quality individual, very dedicated to the school, and I can't think of a better candidate than him to get this award.
Dan, thank you for your 55 years of enduring friendship and of course your commitment to John Carroll. And I am honored to be part of this tribute.
Congratulations on this very well-earned honor.
Onward and forward to Sansoni Dan, as Adrian Clifford used to call you.
Dan, my heart goes out to you. My husband and I, Leo, send you all our love and congratulations on this highest honor.
Congratulations on the award. You deserve it, and I hope you enjoy your success.
Yeah, Sands, congratulations. You are very deserving of this award, and I'm proud of you.
Dan, will you please join me on stage to accept the highest honor from John Carroll University? There was one last person who wanted to congratulate on this, and I would ask you to look at the monitor here. So this young lady is Marlene Vila. She's from the class of 2018 here at John Carroll. Now, those of you who don't know, Dan years ago created him and his family generously created the Mario and Blanche Sansoni Endowed Scholarship named after his parents. Marlene is the first recipient of this fund, and she currently works at Michigan State working with first-generation college students, doing the exact work that he does in Birmingham, and his legacy is continuing. She wanted to send in her congratulations on this great honor. So thank you, Dan. For his dedication to Catholic education for all, his commitment to the community, his enduring legacy and devotion to John Carroll University, his accomplishments in business, and his exemplary leadership as a model for the Jesuit tenet of being a man for and with others, the John Carroll Alumni Association is proud to present the 2025 Alumni Medal to Daniel F. Sansoni. Congratulations.
Well, does anybody need help translating my friend Bill Denson's Southern English into Ohio English? I want to begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the Alumni Association and the extended network of friends and colleagues at the university that have supported me in the receipt of this honor. It means a great deal to me. John Carroll has played an important role in my life for 55 years, and as one of the speakers in the video said, it was Dolan Hall that began the journey. I was a kid from the south side of Chicago. I arrived on this campus. I did not know one person here. No friends were going to school here, no history at home of people going here. My dad dropped out of college. My parents were quite a bit older than most of them. They were children of the Depression. My dad had to drop out of college to put food on the table for his younger siblings, and my mom had to drop out of high school to work in a laundry to basically pay the rent to keep a roof over her head. So I arrived here without a history in my family of college going, and I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I knew a little bit about John Carroll when I got here, but not much. But when I arrived, I was not disappointed. I quickly found a warm and encouraging group of friends in Dolan Hall and beyond. Some of those friends are here this evening, and I thank all of you for being here. My JCU journey was one of extremes. I got off to a slow start academically. Despite the best efforts of some outstanding instructors and a few friends in the Dolan Hall T wing that tried to encourage me along. I would say my journey here, as I said, began with a struggle, and in the academic side, I've learned the meaning of two different extremes. I know very well what it means to be on academic probation, and I also know the joy of being on the dean's list. And I guess I finished pretty strong, and more importantly, I was very well prepared for my professional career when I left this institution. Always a little hesitant when you're sitting across the table from a colleague who went to a larger name university, and then you begin to talk and work and you realize we could compete with anybody. As I thought about what to say tonight, I realized that I recalled some essays that I read in a publication that Ed Peck, our Vice President of Mission and Identity, shared with the board maybe a year and a half ago. And that booklet was titled Conversations on Jesuit Higher Education. Al, some of your board members did actually read some of that stuff. And so last week, and I've been struggling with the Jesuit tradition and how it influenced me. And of course, every speaker here has talked about men and women for others, and that made whatever I did outside of my professional career kind of automatic. I didn't have to ask why. You just thought, okay, yeah, let's help out here where we can. But as I reread some of those articles, I came across two thoughts that resonated, and suddenly, and frankly for the first time, put a couple pieces of the puzzle together. That puzzle being, what are some of these additional tenets of the Jesuit tradition that are important to us above and beyond the one that's most commonly said? And the first was a quotation in one of the articles from a young woman who attended a sister Jesuit college, and she said, quote, "Seeing what my peers do motivates me." As I lived with friends who were talented and focused, and as I worked with colleagues that were talented and focused, I realized that to a certain extent, I was being motivated by what they were doing. I was learning from those around me. And I realized I was doing that not only in my academic career here and in graduate school, but also in my professional career. The second reading from that one of the articles was actually a quotation from St. Ignatius. And as I read this, it's so obvious, but today not a lot of people do it to the extent they should. And that quotation is, "Be slow to speak, and only after having first listened, so that you may understand the meanings, learnings, and wishes of those who do speak." And as I think about myself at John Carroll, that was taught to us, not in those words, but that was part of this Jesuit tradition that I think means so much to all of us. And as I reflected back on my professional career, it dawned on me that without realizing it, I was practicing that at work. I was practicing that in my volunteer work at the Cristo Rey High School. How did we get that school to survive? We had to pause, we had to listen, we had to figure out, we just couldn't come in and change it. You had to work it. So that's my take on the Jesuit tradition, and it's taken me 55 years to figure that out, but it means so much to me, and I think it means so much to the students that are here today, and I'm sure that tradition of teaching and learning and being motivated still exists. So in closing, I want to again extend my deep appreciation and thanks to the university, to the Alumni Association, to my friends and colleagues for supporting me in receiving this award. The other kind of closing thought that I want to make tonight, and I think it's important that we acknowledge this, because several of the other speakers have touched on it. I think this university is in better shape and condition today for success in the future, certainly than it has been in the 12 years or 13 years I've been associated as a board member. I rotated off the board just last May. And I attribute that to the leadership of Nancy Benacci and Billy Donnelly, and Billy's not here tonight, the co-chairs of our board, but to Al Mikiak and his leadership team. And with Al's pending retirement, I couldn't close the evening without just one more time acknowledging the tremendous transformational impacts that his leadership has brought to this school. It is remarkably well positioned for the future. And Al, you used a phrase in a lot of board meetings that always stuck with me, and I still have it written on a little yellow Post-it note stuck next to my computer screen at home, and that's a simple phrase, and it says, pursue growth or manage decline. And Al's pursued growth for this university in so many ways, and I think he has set the foundation for an explosion of success for us. So I want to again thank Al for everything he's done. Yeah. Thank you, good night, and the trouble with having a S in your last name is you're in the end of the alphabetical order, so I'm the last one, but I appreciate your attention. Thank you.
All right, well, congratulations to tonight's honorees, and thank you for the wonderful examples you provide for our alumni community. I want to thank our catering staff here from Taste of Excellence. I want to thank Cleveland Film Factory and Raise the Roof, all the guys who made this event really a first-class event. I want to thank my team in the Alumni Relations Office, Christine Horwath, Luke Batotsky, and Molly Romanowski, the lady in the pink dress back here. She made this event an A-list event. Thank you, Molly. I'm going to invite Brother Matt up here to do a final benediction, but before he speaks, I'm just going to say a reminder to our honorees, please don't go running away. We want to do a quick filming with you in the back, some photos, so please don't go run away. We're going to congregate right here in the O'Connell Reading Room after Brother Matt's completed. So, Brother Matt, why don't you send us home?
What a tremendous night, and we have much to be thankful for. I'm not in charge of anything here, but Ed, I'd like you to be the commencement speaker. I'm going to talk to Dr. Mikiak. I'm going to give you a full 2 hours. I think that'll go really well. So let's just take a moment of deep gratitude. God, we give thanks for the gift of this place and these people, for anything we felt tonight, inspired, encouraged, seen, celebrated. We give thanks because we know you are present in those feelings and in this community. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
All right, folks, thank you again, and go Blue Streaks. God bless, all right?